Here we are. So welcome. This is our class number 10 of the Creators and Magicians course. And it's the day before Thanksgiving. So we have a small group so far. Whatever it is going to be perfect. And I think we're going to have a great time because we're going to focus on doing different readings and clarifying things, anything actually in particular that either of you would want clarification on. And then we're going to go into communicating with the masters through the cards, which I think both of you have done that before, probably, but a lot of people haven't. And it's an interesting question to begin with. When you're receiving messages from a deck of cards, who is talking to you? That's you wonder, well, where, if I'm getting guidance from this, who is giving me guidance? And I think that part of that is the important thing is your intention with it. And so we're going to talk about how you can actually hone in on communicating directly with different beings of light who you would want to receive messages from. Some people even have card decks they use for their deceased relatives, like the grandmother who was always so helpful or whatever it is. And we're not going to do that, but it is just opening the door to the potential of having these direct communications that you might not ever have considered before. So that's kind of, I think that's the main thing I'm thinking of, along with how you can do activations of energy of different light. It's interesting. I see an image on my other screen, and I see Pauline there, but maybe that's probably just an old video. She's not here. Anyhow, okay. So with that, I'm curious with the two of you if there is anything in particular that you would like to explore, or just start in and see where we go. Here comes Terry. Oh, here comes Pauline and Terry. Maybe they showed up over there first. I don't know. Hi, Pauline.
Hi, Jay.
Good to see you. And Terry. Hi, Terry.
Hi.
So we're just getting started. I did do a short introduction, but to just to kind of clarify, today we're going to be again sharing different readings, and my focus is on communicating with the masters and understanding more directly who you are communicating with when you're receiving messages from the cards, and how you can direct your intention toward whoever it is that you might want to communicate with, whether it's a master or an angel or a guide that you have. God, it can be God, it can be, and I was mentioning just a minute ago, it can be a deceased relative maybe who was just so meaningful to you, like a dead grandmother or something. People sometimes dedicate whole decks just to a communication with a certain being. I actually have one that I use to connect with God, and I only use that, and I don't use I only use that deck for personal readings, and I don't ever use it in any other way. It's just dedicated to that. So it's just interesting when you consider the possibilities for that. And I'm also going to share a card spread that will help you to get a start with communicating specifically with one being, whoever that might be, that you would want to receive guidance from, or just from the divine. I think for myself, I often think, well, my intention is that I'm receiving communications from the divine. For that, I think it is helpful to have an intention for when you're doing a reading, like, who am I talking to? So anyhow, that's where we're going. I also am wanting to communicate with a being who would be a good candidate for doing an activation for us, to bring in light. And so that it's something that you can do anytime also, is just to ask for an activation of light, or activation of whatever it is you need, activation of healing energy, and communicate with a specific being for that. So we're going to do that too. So before I go any further, anything anyone particularly wants to know today or to do? Okay, well, we can just start in. I think it to me, it's really a wonderful thing when you start really tailoring it, your conversation with the cards to particular specific beings. So along with this is of course creators and magicians, and in this course we also focus in on the keepers of the light and the ascended masters. This is the course where we address that more than in any other. The not dealing, I shouldn't say dealing, connecting with the ascended masters, who are very important to us, because it is the ascended masters who are, in a very real way, our teachers, because they've been where we are, so they know how to get where we want to go more than any other being could. The angels, I think the archangels play a similar role, but it is, you have to realize, it is from a perspective of complete connectedness with the divine, never having experienced the separation that we do. And they obviously can address that with us. It's just that it's a different perspective. So some common ones, I think, who people consider to be their teachers are include Melchizedek, who is actually considered one of the it goes way back in the Bible into ancient times, and there is the Melchizedek order, which has been in existence through all that time into today, that it still exists with people who are receiving their teachings specifically from Melchizedek. Mother Mary, some people consider Mother Mary to be their teacher. We had last week Buddha and Kuan Yin are also very, very well known and wonderful beings to connect with as teachers. Saint Germain, who is one of the masters who's leading us into the New Age. Mary Magdalene, and Jesus. I know that I'm always reluctant to even mention Jesus, because there are so many people who have bad experiences with Christianity and associate connecting with Jesus with that, with conventional religion. But it also, you could communicate with the Christ, to call it the Christ or the Christ consciousness. In fact, I have some decks. There are decks that are like this one, and I know Bonita has this one too. This is the Christ Consciousness Oracle, and I have actually the box of it with this picture, which I think is just so beautiful. I have it on my desk in front of me all the time because I think it's so wonderful. And even I was reluctant at first to get it, for the same reason as many people have. But I think it's wise of us to move beyond that, beyond feeling that we have to associate Jesus with conventional religions and all the way it's been misused. Because the Christ consciousness is actually, it's like the Buddha consciousness. It's a map. It's a map for us to evolve and to ascend. So we have that. And I'm while I'm at it, I might as well show a couple others. I have this one. This is another one by the same person who did the Christ consciousness cards. And this is an angel, but it's Archangel Metatron. So having these kinds of of decks is really wonderful for communicating with different beings. There's one, this one, which is from Alana Fairchild. She provides very detailed information on all the cards. The Isis Oracle. This is beautiful too. Mary Magdalene, the Mystique of Magdalene Oracle cards. And it's not, I'm not saying you have to have these. I have all of these. I just wanted to point them out because they are really wonderful. This one is just so beautiful. The Mother Mary Oracle, and such an incredibly loving being. If you just want to be soothed and receive that kind of gentle, loving guidance and energy, this is just wonderful. And you can see the artwork is really beautiful. I don't know if you can see I don't think you can really see that well, the cards, but they're all just the same kind of energy in the artwork as this one. Just really, really beautiful. So those are all ones I have. I know that there are other decks that are connected with other beings, and I can't really comment on the quality of any of them. And then there's just if a deck reminds you of a certain being for some reason, like an oracle deck or a tarot deck that feels like it has their energy. You can dedicate any deck to any being you want, and with the intention then when you're communicating with that deck that you're receiving messages from that specific being. So any comments about that? Any comments or questions? Yes, Terry, hi.
Hi. Two comments. One, there is a stunning deck called the Osho.
Oh.
Deck. Have you seen it?
Well, I have the Osho Tarot.
Yes.
So, yeah, I have. Let me see. I have also the Tao Oracle. I think I might have the Osho Tarot somewhere around here too.
The artwork is stunning because of the imagery, but it was funny you said, about connecting to notice if someone or the energy shifted around you. And I had that experience a day or so ago. And in that deeper space, I asked, is this energy mine? And I got no. And so I said, is this a guide? And I got yes. And so I had male and female. And so I asked for names, and one was Toth. And the other, and the other was Shekinah or Shekinah, which is also my understanding of the Holy Spirit. But in the Jewish and the Kabbalah faith, it is the divine feminine.
Yeah.
And so I went, oh, okay. So there's some masters of either like this ancient wisdom or this energy of the divine feminine that are now wanting to teach me.
Right.
To make their presence known. And I guess I will just journal and open to what wants to come forward, because that wasn't my imagination.
No, and that's the thing. You have to start kind of just risking believing what you're getting. And when you also are discerning, if you have a way of discerning, like you were saying, asking and getting, receiving guidance about what's actually there, I would definitely go with it. And I don't know if you do know, there is a Thoth Tarot. I mean the Rider Waite and the Thoth Tarot, they're both from the Golden Dawn. And but the Thoth Tarot is very different from the Rider Waite. I haven't ever explored it that much myself, but it is it is a whole deck from
Well,
devoted to
that's
that.
interesting. So, I wanted to come in with um beginner's mind. I mean, I know enough that um it is there was a lot of information or my understanding around the Egyptian, but the mystical ancient arts, so I thought, well, that's interesting. Haven't really asked yet and gone deeper into, okay, all right, if you're here, what do you want to teach me? And the other is to have that deep felt sense of the divine presence,
Hmm.
that white mist that descends on you and your heart and your spirit. How beautiful is that?
Right. Yeah.
So I will have more to explore.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, you can also just connect with any of these beings. And we have this as the keepers of the light. You can connect with any of them through the cards. And that's the first reading that I want to do. We're going to do that. Um, so it is you're all about your intention. The dogs are barking a lot. I don't know if you can hear them. Stop, please. Please. She just looked at me, turned around, and walked away, which is good. At least she's not barking. Crazy. Um, so I think that what I would like to do is I have here. I don't know what happened here. Here. I can show you. I can share. I I put up a card spread. So it's on your resource page. It's all the way the last thing on the bottom under section 3. Oh, it's not that screen. I don't think we want. This is it. So can you see it? Can you see the handout? The problem is, which is I find very odd about Zoom, is that I can't see what you're seeing. So I'm just kind of hoping that you can see it. Is the writing large enough to read it? Good. Okay. So and we're going to do this. So what we're going to do, can you see my cursor moving around?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So here is the layout. We have 5 cards, and as generally is the case, the central focus is in the middle. The one on the top, what we're going to do actually is have the being we're connecting with, as you could say, a signifier. So we'll just put that off to the top and to the left. The first card up here is for validation that you're conversing with that being. Because the first question that comes up is this, is this real? Kind of like Terry. So it's a card for validation. Then we have, once that's validated, then the central focus is what this being wants you to know. And that goes in the middle. Then we have release and embrace. It could be release and embrace, or any of the things that you have in your free 3-card reading. It can be what I need to know, what I need to do. That would be on both sides. So it would be your general kind of 3-card reading. And then number 5, the one below, which is optional, is what else. It says he, it should be he or she. What else that being wants you to know. So there's a nice message in that. And then at the bottom of the page, you can also then ask more questions like, how can you help me personally? What are the immediate benefits? Where might you challenge me? And what are the long-term benefits? Those are, you could draw more cards for any of those, or any question you have. So any questions about that as a reading? The next thing I'd like to do is just to go through that reading. We can do it for the collective. And then my thought was, if we select, I have a choice. well, two cards that I thought of that might be interesting as beings to connect with, which aren't ones that I even mentioned so far. I'll show you those. I'm going to stop this share. And I'm going to go to the other camera. So the two that I was considering, and these are actually masculine, feminine pairs. Sanat Kumara, who is, and the reason I was focusing on them is because they're great for light activation. So I figured if we start with one of them, and then we might be able to get, for asking for insights on what kind of light could be activated for us, they would be really great ones. They're from Venus. So Lady Venus, and her card, it says downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. And she is, of course, she's divine love. And Sanat Kumara is also a Venusian. His card says light activation. Shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. So they're both very cosmic. And I personally, these are, I have their pictures up in the bedroom on my one of my bureaus, just on the top of it, because I just value them so much. Sanat Kumara is one of the primary beings who's guiding us into the new age. So anyone have a preference, or is this okay, or would you suggest something else? And of the two of them, if this makes sense to you, which one would you prefer? Any comments?
I would be interested in the light activation part.
I think they both would be good for light activation. Lady Venus says downloads and understanding. I think we could ask either one for the light activation. But if you're interested in Sanat Kumara,
Either one is fine.
anyone else?
Either one is fine by me. Light activation, definitely.
Pauline, Terry, any preferences?
No, it's fine. Whichever, yeah, you choose.
Okay. Well, my thought, my feeling on it is Lady Venus. I can read you about her too and see what you think, because she's so loving and beautiful. Downloads and understanding. Lady Venus is the twin flame of Sanat Kumara and is said to reside on the astral realm surrounding the planet Venus. The light beings of Venus, known as Venusians, surprisingly, are now coming to light workers on Earth to help them with their connections, understanding, and capacity to share divine love. Lady Venus is a wonderful keeper of the light to call on when you are trying to forge a connection with the heavens and finding it difficult to understand the signs, symbols, and guidance that are being sent to you physically or through meditation. She also allows us to connect with or focus on particular energies so we can understand them more. If you are studying a spiritual subject at this time, call on Lady Venus to help you. This card also represents downloads of information being received by your mind. Know that the universe sees you as capable of holding soul-centered information that will help you and others to reach a new level of understanding. And I know she can provide downloads of light. So is that okay, Lady Venus? I think also people say that she is represented also as Aphrodite. So I don't really see her quite so much that way, but she's just really very beautiful, divine energy, cosmic. So like I said, the thought is to put her card over on the side here. So she's guiding us. Our intention is that she is here to provide messages through the cards. And then with our deck for this course being the Magical Nordic Tarot, I'm just organizing these cards. What happened there? We're going to use, that's what we're going to use here. I'm putting back, when I put cards back from a reading, I also always put them in, I don't put them all together because I don't want them to come out together again. I don't know if it matters, but that's what I'm doing, is putting cards back and shuffling. So this is a reading for the collective of us. So I often shuffle a couple times and then I hold the deck to my heart and ask for harmony and for connectedness in this reading, purity, pure message. Oh, I guess the other question is, do you prefer release, embrace, or what you need to know and what you need to do?
I vote for no and do.
Anyone else? No and do? Is that okay? Okay, we'll do no and do. I kind of like no and do too, because
Well,
it can be release and embrace, just depending on how it comes out.
I thought under those 5 questions, you said number 1 was validation, 2 was what I need to know or do, 3 is what to release, 4, what to embrace, and 5 was what else do you need me to know? Did I misunderstand that?
Well, 1 is validation. Number 2 is the central focus, so it's going to be in the middle. It can be, I think I mentioned, it can be release or embrace or need to know, need to do, any of the combinations in the 3 card readings that you might want. You could put in, if
I thought we were doing 5 cards.
we are, but for 3 and 4, so if you have the card, I don't have a name for it here, but
Okay.
so the top one is going to be validation. And then number 2 is the central focus. And 3 and 4 can be need to know, need to do, or release, embrace, or any of the, it can be any 2
Okay.
cards you want to draw to address whatever it is you're wanting to know.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just
No,
wanted clarity.
that's good because you didn't fully understand it, and that's the reason for asking questions. That's completely good to do. And it is, it isn't necessarily easy the first time going through these things. Can tell we're still going to need to kind of fool around with them to fit them in, but that'll be fine. So I just wanted to know what we were asking before I draw the cards. I'll shuffle them one more time. So we're doing it for what we need to know, what we need to do. And this is to really receive activations of more light so that we can, anyone, what it is you'd like to do with more light?
I would like to move forward
Mm-hmm.
into this new time in my life. So
Mhm.
that's a very big question for me, but that's what I'm going to hold in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
So that I'm not creating from my past,
Right.
how to move forward.
Mm-hmm. Right. Anyone else? Thank you, by the way. Anyone else?
Forward. Moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
in
And I
the-
think what I think of
Mhm.
now is to be the light that I'm here to be for the world.
Mm.
You know, I think for all of us to be, which means to be fully ourselves, to
Mm.
fully embrace who we are and our value. So here is the card for validation, which goes up on the top. The Six of Pentacles, which is about gifts, and it's interesting. It's about giving and receiving a lot of times. You can just feel that, like, what might she be saying to us through this card? Do you want me to read more about it from our guided tarot book? Okay, let me just get it here. This is the one I've mentioned that I recommend this, and I would use that before the Magical Nordic because I think it's more more objective, I would say. Giving and receiving opens the flow of prosperity in your life. Always give what you would like to receive. You are met with generosity and even exchange when you draw the Six of Pentacles. In this card, a wealthy man offers coins to people who are kneeling before him. So this is the traditional, I guess it's hard to, I guess I can't quite get it. So you can see it. Anyhow, the traditional Rider-Waite card, it shows actually a person standing and then offering blessings to those who are reaching to him for support. His body position is above theirs, yet he holds a scale in his hand as a reminder that equality is important, as is sharing what you have with those who have less. This card is as much about generosity as it is about receiving graciously. Altruistic and genuine acts of support are the hallmarks of this card. So to me, it feels like a validation and a recognition, actually, that even though she's above us in the higher realms, that she also recognizes us as being divine beings. So any other thoughts on that?
Did you say at the beginning when you pulled that card, that it was about gifts?
Giving and receiving.
Okay, giving and receiving. So isn't it interesting? I heard in my mind gifts, and that was a bridge between what we were saying, what you were talking about, us being the light, how to move forward, but how to be in the world authentically. And
Mhm.
I've been asking deliberately how to use my gifts to serve.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Yeah. And it is about, for us individually, the card is about us being in a position where we have something to give, and also understanding that we're always giving and receiving.
yeah.
So I think it's a really beautiful card for that position, personally. So then from there, we'll go to card number 2, which is our central focus. And we're not going to be able to stack 3. So I'm going to go, so 6 of Swords. And the 6 of Swords, this one says boundaries. The way that I interpret it, and the way it looks more in the card from Rider-Waite, is you're on a boat. I wish that these cards were easy to show. Maybe I can do it even if it's sideways. I don't know. So this is, you're on a boat that is going from 5, which is a lot of difficulty, going into quieter waters with higher understanding. So what she's doing is taking us into these quieter, more peaceful, more wise waters, because the 6 is a wiser position than the 5. moving forward means finding peace in the present while maintaining hope for the future. Trust that the worst is behind you. So that is the 5, all of the conflict of the 5. After conquering the string of conflicts and challenges, you are ready to expand into the serene journey presented by the 6 of Swords. On it, we see 3 figures with their backs to the viewer taking a boat ride from choppy waters toward more calm waters, heading toward the peaceful shore. The man steering the boat represents the masculine, active, action-oriented energy, while the seated figure is assumed to be the female, sitting passively under a hooded cloak. She represents feminine, intuitive energy, while the child sitting nearby may represent the inner child. So it's like everybody's there. The masculine, the feminine, the magical child. The swords standing in front of them inside the boat represent the forward movement of thoughts being safely carried over the water, symbolic of emotions. So they're heading toward the other shore, towards a new world, really. I think that's beautiful too. Okay, so we have that, and then so we're going to do now what you need to know. And we have the 5 of Pentacles, and then I think I'll put out what you need to do too. I'm putting this way so that I can put the 5th one there. So what you need to know, the 5 of Pentacles, which is emotional withdrawal. And in that position, actually in any position, when I look at a card like this, it's like this is going to help us to open emotionally. So it is resolving any of that 5 of Pentacles. So we can open more to being the blessings that we are, the 6 of Pentacles up here, that we are to the world. And then this one is the Empress, nurture. So to do is to nurture ourselves. And of course, that makes sense with Lady Venus being all about love. So any thoughts on that one or those?
For me, nurturing would take a more personal view of trusting, not just trusting where I'm going or even in the unknown, but to trust myself.
Right.
That's my own inner knowing. It's like me explaining. I mean, I took a risk by sounding weird and saying, these are the messages and the energies that I felt the other day. It's like, are you going to dismiss that, or are you going to stand in it or
Right.
claim it or be in a safe place? So that's going to take a conscious choice for me to move forward. Is I really need to trust what I'm getting.
Right. And I think sometimes like I said, you just have to say, well, I'm going to trust. I'm going to do it. And it's almost like if you do that, then it has to be feeding you good information, right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's going to be leading you astray, and your guidance is not going to do that. But I'm starting to also notice, it's interesting, these are pentacles, and the Empress also is an earthy card. So she's like the earth mother, she's completely connected with the earth. So this is all about bringing the blessings that we are down to earth. That's the way I'm looking at that too. And I think that's one of the things. There's a lot missing from this deck if you want to see the illustrations, but looking at knowing, that all of this is about bringing the divinity in us down to earth, I think is a pretty clear message. So you ready for the bottom card? So that would be what else we need to know, I think, isn't that? Yeah, what else she wants us to know. Oh, this one is the world, which means it's going to take us, this is the energy that is going to take us to completion. And it says motivation, which is interesting, but the world card number 21 is the final card in the major arcana. So she's wanting to take us to the place where we can ascend, just so we can be fully awakened. That's what she would like for us, and what she is available to help us with that, and by helping us to bring all of our gifts fully into form. That's what it says to me. Anyone? Any other comments on that? Isn't it beautiful? I think it's very beautiful.
Also, to me, it feels larger than just our individual desire to express, but it is that larger, the world is awakening, but for us to find our place in it.
Right. So that we can support others.
So we can support the world at this
Right.
time. Exactly.
Right.
So
Right.
it's individual and collective.
Right. Yeah, because for us, if you consider yourself to be a light worker or a starseed, or however you look at yourself, in terms of playing a role in the awakening of humanity, it is what you want for yourself is what you want for everyone. It becomes one thing. There's no separation, in my mind at least, because if it's your mission, it's your greatest joy also. And so she wants to help us with opening to all of that, which is it feels big and beautiful to me, what
Yes.
she's saying.
Wow.
So what I wanted to do then with that is we can go into a meditation and receive the activation of light from her. So is there anything else you would like to say or know before we do that? I haven't heard much from you, Margaret and Bonita. Does it feel the same as we're describing to you?
Yeah,
For-
I just, go ahead, Margaret.
no, go ahead, Vanina.
I just feel like I was just sitting here absorbing it all.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, but that all made sense.
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much was the same experience, just really thinking about the idea of bringing all of our gifts, that she's here to help us. But I also had the sense, like Terry was saying, that collectively, that this reading sort of was speaking to our group and then beyond our group, as far as being able to bring our gifts to fruition and actually activate them, move forward with them and have them helping ourselves and the greater good.
Right. Yeah.
I see it like it's a journey. I'm seeing a journey
Oh,
being
definitely. Yeah, it
shown
is.
to me, and or a map. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a whole journey in a way is taking us
Mm-hmm.
through
It's
the
interesting
journey.
going back to where we started with the masters as our teachers. She's offering to be a teacher from her perspective, which is from that place of love and also of very high consciousness, obviously. And she's not one of the ones you would hear a lot about, but I think connecting I hope that all of you, just from doing the reading, you can feel a connection to that, to her. If not, that's the next step, is that I think we'll just go to the mountaintop and connect with her, and then ask for blessings of an activation of light, we each of us will receive what we are ready for and need personally. So is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think I'm just going to go back to my other camera, since we're not needing to look at the cards. And now it's really more about us. I think, as Pauline and many of you were suggesting, that it is a collective reading for each of us, all of us collectively, and then each of us also individually. But it is the connection that all of us have at this time is an integral part of all of that. So you can start by closing your eyes, as always, and bringing your attention to your breath, knowing that all of the heavens around you are blessing you now with light and love, and just taking that in. And then as you exhale, letting go of any energy that feels dense or heavy, any energy you don't need right now. Just allowing it to melt down into the earth, where it can be neutralized and turned back into light. So we're breathing in love and light, opening to the blessings that are about to come our way, wanting to raise our vibration so we can meet Lady Venus halfway. So then breathing in lighter energy and imagining ourselves rising up to that mystical mountaintop, just way high up, the perfect mountaintop for you. And of course, we're all together on this mountaintop. Can see ourselves in a circle. And we're above all the mass consciousness thought forms. So the energy is pure, and we can look out at, have that expansive view of the world and the glory of what the earth is. And also the heavens above us, all of the stars and planets, just magnificent openness to the divine with that. And then inviting Lady Venus to join us. And just ask her to bless you with love and light, surrounding you with that love and light that is her energy, so you can get a deeper sense of her. And the beauty, just the beauty and the comfort, I think, of that. I feel she's wanting us to know that it's not about struggle. It's about letting go of struggle. And this activation is for us to open to ease, to love, to joy, the blessings that are here for us always. And with that, you can now imagine her above and showering us with blessings of light codes, activation of light, which I perceive as light codes. I see them as little symbols coming down. You can perceive them in whatever way feels right to you. It's light, but to me, it's light with information. It's holding eternal wisdom. So we can invite the perfect energy into each cell of our body. Every cell can receive the perfect light that it needs for this activation. And of course, the brain is an important part of it.
Oh.
But every cell is an important part of it. And of course, surrounding us, our energy field, that also is receiving this light activation. You can just relax into it. It isn't something that you need to interpret or understand beyond what just naturally comes to you in response to it, and maybe being open to what insights might come to you in the near future. Now, maybe now and sometime in the near future. Just asking for that wisdom to come in and bringing it down to earth, bringing it down into your form, and really into your identity of who you are as a being of light. Just feeling that. And you may feel yourself releasing. There's more heavy energy that's ready to release. Just let it go. Can drift down off of you, completely off of you, away from you. And sense, get a, if possible, a deeper sense of your magnificence, of the light you are, the light and the love that you are. I sense that's what the main thing she wants us to know is that we are light and love just as she is. We are representatives of the divine feminine just as she is. I feel like I could stay here for a long time, but we're going to come back, and also with the knowing that at any time you can come back and ask for her to bless you again. She's telling us she's here for us. The main thing for us to understand is that they can only say very little about what is possible without us asking. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall receive. Ask and the door shall be opened unto you. Something like that. And this is true with all of these beings of light that we offer. And that's why I said just to ask for each of you to ask to receive the light codes, the activation, because we have to express with our will that this is what we want. And she thanks us for being here and being so open. If any of you want to say something now, anything you're experiencing or anything you want to say to her, it's fine. If you don't, it's fine. I just wanted to open that possibility if anyone wants to say something. So then we can just thank her from the bottoms of our heart, the depths of our heart. And just now we're going to return back where we started, drifting gently down back into your seat with your feet on the floor, firmly connected with the earth. And breathing in more active energy, coming back into your normal waking state. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes, just taking your time. And breathing. Anyone want to comment?
It was really nice to set in her energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very, very just so nurturing and beautiful and affirming, I think. Anyone else? Comments?
Grateful for that experience. Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful. Margaret, anything? Was it positive?
I'm not feeling very well today, so I
I
really was
see.
having trouble with connecting.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well,
it was
that's
it was positive, but I was having trouble staying in the moment,
mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
yeah, so nothing, nothing bad,
Mhm.
just yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so and Terry, I think said you didn't want to comment. Okay. Maybe you will at some point. So that's an example of selecting a being and communicating with them. And of course, you could do that, a similar thing to that with, it doesn't have to be this reading, but to have that being present for whatever reading you want to do, to have the intention of receiving a message from them with your intention. I also wanted to mention again, I know I did this, I mentioned this before. Kyle Gray also has this book, Divine Masters Ancient Wisdom, which is available through Hay House. And he pretty much has the same beings in here as in the Keepers of the Light cards. So I'm sure she's in here, and just maybe I'll let me look up where she is. Here, assuming she's here. It's interesting. She's the last one. Thoth is here, Terry, which is interesting. I don't remember there being a card for Thoth, but Thoth is mentioned here. But so here is Lady Venus 255. So she's right at the end. Maybe because maybe it's based on Venus for Venus. So it says she's an advanced cosmic being of ecstatic light dedicated to helping us to connect with divine wisdom. She is an interplanetary representative of divine love and a bringer of higher consciousness that will support the ascension process for light workers and planet Earth. Says, although she's lesser known than her twin flame, Sanat Kumara, she has become better known and understood in recent times. And of course, that isn't the main point. So it has actually, it talks more about the Venusians, and then it has a section for each of them. It has a section for something you can do with them. And for Lady Venus, it has downloads, upgrades, and light codes. Lady Venus helps us to open to downloads of spiritual information and insights that will be pivotal to our spiritual growth. The information can come through hearing messages or seeing visions, but can also be in the form of energetic upgrades. So then it goes into a process, ways to know you're receiving a download, upgrade, or light code. It talks about that and working with Lady Venus. I'm glad we connected with Lady Venus. I just think that her energy is so beautiful. So, actually, there was another thing I wanted to bring up today. I've got cards now all over the place. Another deck in this course last year, and I think the year before also, we in these courses we generally have 4 decks, 3 that are required for certification. If you're not going to be certified, you can do whatever you want. And then a 4th one that we just recommend. And I wanted to recommend it. It's called Earth Magic, which is, it is great for connecting things with the earth. And I think what I would like to do with it actually in connection to this reading is ask the Earth Magic cards, and this is a great thing to do with it at the end of a lot of readings, is how can we bring this down to earth? This experience and the reading. So
Okay.
I'm going to go back to the other camera. Actually, I didn't think to change the view to speaker, so it would show the cards better. But there they are. And I'm just shuffling and preparing the deck. So I have it here, and I just go to wherever it seems to want to go. And the card is crystals. This is beautiful. Crystals, focus, it says. Okay, Foxy. Foxy wants to come up. No, she needs a hug. I think she likes the energy. She's just hugging me. Yes, you're a good girl. I have to read this, sweetie pie. I have to get the guidebook here. I think that's interesting. It would be crystals with Lady Venus. Seems very appropriate, actually. No, get down. So crystals, focus. Here we see an amethyst crystal cave bathed in the water from a river, the points of light representing the spiritual force that these crystal beings generate. Amethyst, as well as other types of quartz crystals, have been used for thousands of years in magic and healing, as well as for intensifying psychic capabilities. Since its violet color is the same as the crown chakra, it has often been referred to as a spiritual stone. The nature of quartz crystals, the second most common element in the Earth's crust, is that they help us to focus the power of our light force or spirit. Where attention goes, power flows, and crystals magnify this power tenfold. Our intention influences where our attention goes. When we're consciously aware of our intention, it facilitates the focus of that spiritual power and supports the manifestation in material reality of that intention. It is time to bring your complete focus to the subject of your inquiry. Eliminate all distractions and give this your undivided attention. Whether this is a project, relationship, or simply a relaxing time spent walking in nature, be fully present to the situation. This sharpening of focus will expand your awareness and allow your inner guidance to penetrate your consciousness, which can then be parlayed into appropriate action. By being focused with crystal clarity, you are in the flow of your life force and in fact have become one with it. It is not the hypervigilant or tension-filled state, but one of relaxed attention. Keep your eyes, ears, and heart focused on that which you need to pay attention to, and miracles can be created. To paraphrase a fictional elder, use the force and use it in life-enhancing ways. So I'll just go back to the gallery view. Any comments on that as kind of a card that's intended to bring everything together? Does that seem to fit for you?
Mm.
actually, what came to mind was to create a meditation around going into the crystal cave.
Yeah, you certainly could.
And
That's
then,
beautiful.
to open and expand and receive that wisdom.
That's really, I don't know how well. Oh, I'm still on the, need to go back to the other video. I just wanted to, if you couldn't see it real clearly, I don't know if you could see it that clearly. It is really beautiful card. Yeah. Yeah, it almost, Terry, from what you're saying, it almost looks like a portal on the card.
And to sit with that,
Mm-hmm.
it
Yeah.
also with the intention of Venus and her ability to give downloads, right?
Right.
And so with that intention to sit in the cave of our being, but I liked the imagery of using the amethyst crystals and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
knowing that that amplifies it, but
Mm-hmm.
it's also a sacred place to go within.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do that for myself.
Wonderful. Yeah, and it's suggesting to pay attention to what we've received here. It's so easy to say, "Oh, that was a great reading," and move on. And it's really not. It's not about that. I mean, that's not really what all of this is about. What all of this is about is for us to really grow and to integrate these experiences. I also thought, and I might do this actually myself. You could use this for a layout, with that intention of taking in everything that Lady Venus has shared with us. And I like to do that, and then I return to the layout every day or two and light the candle again. I think I am going to do it with this one because I thought it was really beautiful. Return to the layout again and just receive. You can just, with the layout, you can just ask for another download of light from her again. You can have, actually, what I might do is have the layout, and then I have a picture of her vertical behind it. So when I look at it, I'm looking at the crystal card, and then I have her picture that she's overseeing it and overlighting it, because I feel like this, her energy for me certainly is really beneficial right now. And the layouts can help us, because the layout itself is not magic. It is the consciousness that we bring to it, and then just allowing ourselves to continue to receive and integrate that energy. That's the value in them.
I
So-
think that it says, eliminate all distractions, give this your undivided attention, be fully present. The sharpening of focus will expand your awareness and allow your inner guidance to penetrate your consciousness. I like the way that was phrased, that your awareness needs to expand so you can then integrate it and penetrate your consciousness.
Well, and for Terry was talking about making use of her inner guidance, actually believing it and allowing it to guide her, maybe more than in the past. And I think for all of us, it's always a journey of being open and allowing. I think in this I don't see much danger of anything in this. This is really interesting too. If you see these, let me see if I can get together. The two cards, aren't they beautiful together? That's another thing I love. I really, after a reading, often I'll just get, so I'm so entranced by the cards, and it's just curious how harmonious these are. The exact same colors. Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. Okay, well, that was a super reading as far as I'm concerned. And Margaret, I know you'll receive even if you're not feeling up to a lot of thinking or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
right now.
Yeah, no, I know that. It's just I have absolutely no doubt about that, that it will come when it's happening. It's just that I was having trouble being present with it.
Right. Yeah.
That doesn't
Yeah.
mean it isn't there.
No, you'll
Yeah.
receive anyhow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you feel like making a layout out of it, I'm definitely going to do that. Now that I saw the two cards together, I'm really excited about it. And I can return to it every day. Okay, so
I like the word focus. It's so important. Focus.
oh yeah, for sure.
Because
Yeah.
it's presence. It means presence. And
Mhm.
and I think what you've shared, Jane, um, it's support. It is support for life on Earth, you know, and the challenges that we can feel. Right now, I have a very painful inflamed eye on my yeah. But first of all, Venus, I kind of had the I kind of remembered Valentine's Day and that kind of thing, and I sort of had to widen that, you know, and see love, you know, in a bigger way.
Divine love.
Divine
Yeah,
love.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. And yeah, it's a wonderful. I don't know. It's an extra addition to the three-dimensional existence. You know, this journey that you've taken us on, or with using cards.
Mhm.
Um, and I think they're very important, actually. You know, for those who are drawn to it, because it is energizing.
Right, right. Yeah.
Very energizing and a very, you know, loving, caring, safe way kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, particularly from her. I mean, because she's so much about love.
Mm.
Another thought I had with that is you could do also if you want to, she's the divine feminine, you could do the same reading yourself. I would do it now, but I don't think I think we all need to integrate. Do the same thing with Sanat Kumara and just do the same reading for the divine masculine. Because Sanat Kumara's energy is beautiful too. Okay, so I'm going to just pick up all these cards. The other thing I was wondering from when I showed that complete reading last time, I think I did it fairly quickly with all the cards. If you would like me to kind of show you that again, I don't know how many of you are interested in it, or um, just because that's the reading I do usually if I've done a 3-card reading and then I feel, well, I need more information, I do that. I add those other cards, the past, the future, above and below. Would you like to see that or anything else? Or we could just end. I think that was one of those kind of very deep processes. So I don't even want to actually add a reading of something that would be another reading for us to receive because I think that we've received enough.
I think I just need to set with what we did today.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we can just end here. I mean, unless if you have any questions, anything. I'm curious how you feel now about just using the cards and different decks to be able to connect with these amazing beings who were meeting well through this, and of course in the next course we're going to be doing focusing on the archangels, but all of these beings who are available to support us. there's so much more that we can receive if we can make that direct connection. I feel like we made a really deep connection today.
Yeah, I really liked what you said in the beginning about, dedicating a deck to one specific being. I mean, I do that with Metatron. I call on Archangel Michael a lot, but to have and I do the Metatron deck just with him.
Mm-hmm.
But that was very interesting. I'd never considered, any other deck that I could do that with a specific being. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes the relationship between you and the spirit and the deck. It's like, putting it on steroids.
Mm-hmm. Right. It is making it very clear to yourself
Right.
what
Of where the
happened,
information
because
is coming from.
you're using it, it's your relationship to the cards and relating to them to that being strengthens.
Hmm.
I'm curious, would you like to see the one I use for God?
Yeah.
I don't have it right here. I have to go get it. Just a minute. I didn't think to bring it here. This was a real challenge for me, finding a deck that I felt actually was suitable for it because it's so meaningful to me. And I have had a direct connection with God for many years, just being able to communicate. But to find a deck of cards that actually to me represents that connection, I wasn't sure I could do it. I'm just setting this up. But I was so pleased once I found this. It's very unique. I'm going to show you my other my other thing here. Okay, so this deck, which is actually in its original form, it's no longer available. I don't know if you can read this. It's called the Tarot of Cloisters. It's round. So this deck it's the only round deck I have. And it's very unusual to have any round deck, but to have a round tarot deck. It's only available, and I don't know how many of you are aware, but I don't mention it very often. But you can get a lot of decks for somewhere, $3, $5, $7, very inexpensive from China. The site that I generally go to, it's called AliExpress.com. I don't mention it often because they're what you call knockoffs. In other words, they're illegitimate. But to me, for something like this, if it isn't actually available and it's the only way to get it, I would actually buy the regular deck if I could.
Right.
I just can't, and I don't know if it ever will be available again.
Could
Anyhow,
you spell the name
what's
of
that?
what you said? Could you spell the name of that?
It's Tarot of Cloisters. Let me see.
No, the website.
Oh, AliExpress.com.
Okay, thank
And
you.
they have all kinds of decks. In fact, all of the decks I showed you today are from there. And the reason is to be able to fit the cards on the camera. Like this is the regular size card. This is the size of the card from AliExpress. It's not the same person, but or a being, but I use them a lot. I don't want to suggest generally to people to get illegitimate cards. Although I feel if you buy the regular deck, you have paid for that. I feel I don't mind that I do that, and I really, for one thing, my hands are small, so it's hard for me to actually shuffle the big decks anyhow. And I really love the smaller ones because they're much easier for me to use. And sometimes I will buy decks at AliExpress without having the legitimate deck, just to see if I want it. Because if I spend $5 for it, usually they're around $5, and if you buy $10 worth, shipping is free. So if you get a couple decks, and it gets kind of complicated. Some of them, I think, for whatever reason, are not free, but generally you can do that. Anyhow, the Tarot of Cloisters, the cards are like stained glass windows. And I guess it's kind of hard to see because this is the nine of wands. That calls them staves. Let me show you some maybe that you would really recognize. Some major arcana cards. The thing is, they're very well. Here's the Ace of Pentacles. They're just very positive and light. And I love it that they're like stained glass windows. This is the Chariot.
Mm.
I think they are really beautiful. The Magician. And sometimes I'll do readings. I'll have some cards that are not from this deck, and then I add these to get messages from God. Also, here's the Justice card. Let's see. Just trying to get here. There. It's hard for me to get it right. Anyhow, you can see they're very gentle and beautiful. So to me, they always feel wonderful. I should probably go back to my other camera because it might be even easier to show you. But to me, I just, every time, and of course, looking at them now, I think they look even more beautiful, probably because this is what I use them for. And it's the only thing I use them for. I never do readings with this deck for other people. In fact, I've never mentioned to anybody that I have these other than just now. But they're so beautiful. Here, the Wheel of Fortune. Whoops, and
Beautiful.
just getting them, trying to turn it right side up, the Wheel of Fortune. So it's like a big stained glass window. What's that? Yes.
In the Kabbalah, it's a teaching that, we are vessels of light of the one. And yet that is so great that we cannot possibly hold that light. And so this vessel becomes shattered. And our job is to collect the broken shards, the pieces, to bring ourselves back into wholeness.
Right.
So in a way, there's that shattering of the glass. And yet our goal then is to create the vessel or the house of God within. So how perfect to have stained glass, which are the creating beauty.
And circular cards, I think.
Yes, of the one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's anyhow, for $5, you too can communicate with God. But isn't that special? I mean, I just when I thought of how can I ever do this, it took me some time to figure it out. And I actually had this deck and I hadn't used it because I just couldn't figure out how to use it. And that was what I had it for. So it was just sitting, waiting for the right time. but I love it. Well, you can tell. It
Yeah.
just is very special to me.
Thank you for sharing that, Jane.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, I think all of you, understand, so I can do that. Okay, so I guess now we are right at the end of right at the end of our time. But that also may give you some ideas if there are beings you want to connect with, and just having that possibility of finding the right deck for them. Or maybe you'll have it. And if you don't have the right deck, I thought the reading we did with the magical Nordic cards worked just fine with Lady Venus. So it doesn't have to be a big deal. For me, it was a big deal. The only big deal I've had that I've had that problem with is that one with the cloisters. But now I have that, and I'm all set. So any final comments, any questions, anything? Okay, so we'll be back again next week, I guess, with class number 11. We're getting toward the end here. Interesting, huh? It always goes so fast.
Yeah, it does. It does indeed.
Yeah. Okay,
Lovely.
happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
You too.
Thanksgiving, everyone.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.